stronger they are in their habits, the stronger they are in their area of expertise or success, because they have developed the right habits. Then I came across another article. It says, Jesus never set goals. He did this instead. Jesus didn't wake up in the morning and say, today I want to heal 30 people. Jesus instead had habits, certain things that he insisted on living this certain way, that Jesus led his life a certain way, and it's the habits that he kept that allowed him to be effective. He said, instead of building goals and setting goals, and I'm a big guy on goal setting. I love to set goals. I think it's something that is necessary. But this is a challenging perspective here, because he's saying, instead of always setting goals about how much we should accomplish and when we should accomplish, let us instead develop good habits, and our habits will lead us to success greater than our goals. That goals can stymie and stagnate us because we are locked in to a certain number or a certain amount, but instead be like Jesus, who was mission-minded. Jesus was interested in the goal. He had a habit of working and following a teaching with an action. Every time that Jesus teaches, he follows it up with an action. That was his habit. He had the habit of adhering to the mission no matter what was going on. I needed to hear that this morning. Jesus had the habit himself of adhering to the mission regardless of the circumstance. He had the habit to affirming the disciples even in their faults. He would come across their faults and say, you're a little bit hot-headed, Peter. You're a little bit short in temper. But instead of fighting with him, he discipled him. He loved him. He corrected him. That was his habit. And all of these habits led to an effective system. If we're going to be effective in our relationship with Christ, we've got to examine the habits that we are displaying, that we are sharing, that we are using on a day-to-day basis. And last week, we started off this study looking at the idea of our meditation, of how we intake God's word in Joshua chapter 1. And we said that before Joshua as God was telling Joshua what to do, he first told him what to be. Jesus, he was more interested in what to be rather than what to do. That as God was speaking to Joshua, let me say it one more time the right way this time. As God was speaking to Joshua, he was telling Joshua, this is what you should be, not so much what you are to do. And so often we're so worried about the goal, the objective, the outcome, the result, what it looks like, how much I'm going to accomplish, what shall I do, but we forget what to be. And he said, Joshua, first you have to be strong and courageous. I'll take care of the doing if you take care of the being. And we've got to look inward and see, how am I in my being? How am I carrying out my relationship towards God? Before I rush off and start doing and trying to accomplish and climb up corporate ladders, have I first learned to be with the Lord?